Hey everyone, this is Jin Hua here, also known as the Ninja Jedi, and today I have a very special gift for you because today we're going to talk about a topic that a lot of people talk about, person in the personal development field and books and in articles and things like that. But I've never really seen anybody put it in terms so simple and actually illustrate the process of what it is, so that we can finally overcome it. And that topic is fear. What is fear? How do we overcome it? Why should we even care about fear? Why should we even care about trying to put ourselves in a situation? Because fear is fearful, right? Fear is like kind of a scary thing. It's like maybe you're afraid of spiders or something, right? You see, oh my gosh, you're gonna get out of spiders. Or maybe you're afraid of riding a roller coaster. Maybe you're afraid of, I don't know, public speaking. Maybe you're afraid of actually going to that special someone, right? We see somebody on the other side of the room that's kind of cute, and then we're like, oh man, I don't know, I don't want to get rejected. Or maybe we have something in our business that we want to attain. Maybe there's a dream, maybe there's a goal, maybe there is something deeper inside that we know we want to do, but for some reason we feel like we might get judged by others if we do it. Now, fear is a really funny thing, okay? Fear has a really strong power to be able to paralyze us and keep us stuck and keep us struggling. See, have you ever been stuck before? Have you ever tried to reach a certain goal, or you just think about it and then we stop ourselves because we're afraid, right? That you're afraid of something, whatever that is. Afraid of rejection, afraid of success, afraid of failure, afraid of, the what ifs, what if this, what if that, what if that, what if I waste my time, what if I did everything and I flopped at the end? Then I would have wasted all of my time. You see, fear we give life to. And I'm here to tell you guys and show you guys exactly why and what fear is and why we think that way. Because here's the thing. I believe that in order to defeat our enemy, we need to know our enemy. Know thy enemy. Right? I don't know, maybe Art of War or something. I don't know. I've read that part a few pages or something. But we have to know thy enemy. Now, who is our enemy? It's nobody else. I know sometimes we might blame another person, right? We might be able to say, blame an external source or force for our lack of success. And I'm here to tell you guys that the only enemy, and you probably heard this already, but I'm just here to confirm it. Maybe we have to hear it a couple of times. We're going to hear from different people in order to believe it, is that your greatest fear is yourself. Your greatest enemy is yourself. And if you learn how to overcome that fear and these fears and just understand what it is at the foundational level, then it doesn't matter what fear comes your way, you're going to be able to overcome it. Now, why is it important and very beneficial to overcome your fears, right? Why do we even care about this? Why even put ourselves in that situation? Why even, feel that feeling of fear, right? Because usually fear is a very negative thing. Maybe sometimes we get scared and we just completely shut it off. What does fear do to our minds? See, what I believe is that we're in a state of the negative emotion, right, of fear. Our mind completely gets shut off and there's only one focus, and that's it. It's like we zone in on the thing that we fear most, and that is the only thing that we think about, and that is why we become paralyzed. Well, my friends, today I'm going to show you guys something that I haven't seen anybody ever talk about. And I know that through this process, you're going to have a different perspective about fear. You're going to have a different perspective on exactly how to overcome it and what to do with it when you get, and how to identify it. Because a lot of times we don't even know what we're afraid of because we don't want to admit to it. But right now, after you can listen to this, what I'm about to tell you, okay, and maybe you want to pause this video, maybe you want to, just put the kids away, maybe close the doors, and actually give your full undivided attention, because right now, if you listen to the entire video that I'm going to be shooting right now and the information I'll be sharing with you, if you listen to the whole thing, give your full undivided attention, and you take notes and you engage with me here, Okay, even though there's nobody else around, if you engage with me here, you're going to, by the end of this video, have something that 99% of the people do not have. Okay, and then the people are going to look at you like, holy crap, what happened? What happened to this guy? This something happened here, and they're going to see you differently. Trust me, because, well, I've done it, and I've helped other people do it. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Maybe you want to take some notes or something, okay? Because I am very excited to share this, because I never shared this way before. This is the first time I'm doing this. So, guys, enough of the hype, right? Let's get right into it. Alright, so what is fear? See, there's a lot of different schools of thought of what fear is. Now, we can look at a general sense of what fear is, right? Which is, we see something, we're afraid of it, we don't do it. It's like we see it, it's like, dang, no. And then we just completely stop ourselves and we go the complete other way. Now, let's give an example, okay? Let's say you're walking down the street, right? Or you're walking on a sidewalk and there's a bunch of cars going, right, pretty fast. And, you know, you say, well, you know what? It's probably a bad idea to, like, jump in the street. Probably a bad idea, right? You don't really have any emotional attachment to it. You're just like, you know what? I'm going to stay on the sidewalk. That looks dangerous. That's it. That, to me, is caution, okay? There's a difference between caution and fear. That was caution. Now, example of fear is we're walking down a sidewalk and we're like, oh no, like what if I like trip and I fall in the side of the road, right? What if I'm walking and then somebody pushes me in the side of the road? What if I'm walking on the sidewalk and then, I don't know, somebody, like there's a car accident and then, you know, I just happen to be the person there. What if this? Oh my gosh, what if that? What if that? See, what was the difference there? Fear is where we had an emotional attachment, like an emotional, it triggered something emotionally where now we're focused on it so much that's our focus. And the funny thing about fear is whatever we focus on, okay, and we focus on the fear, we're going to bring more of that. Actually, it's more dangerous to be in fear than just to be in love and just know that, hey, everything's fine, okay? So that's one way of looking at it. Now, there's also another way of looking at fear, which I'm not going to get into too much on this because, you know, it gets pretty deep and I can talk about that for like hours and hours. But I just want to briefly touch upon it, and that is the duality, right? With the yin and the yang, right? There's the fear and there's love, right? Those are two opposite sides. And, you know, that gets into like the purpose of life and, you know, why are we here and things like that. And then, so if basically it's like, you know, without left, there's no right. If there's no up, there's no down. Because we're in the world of the relativity, okay, because we're in the world of the relativity, well, then we need these different dualities so that we know, in order to know one thing, we need to know the opposite. So in order to know hot, we need to know cold. In order to know ourselves, we need to know who we are not. See, we are love, okay? That is who we are, that's it. We are love. There's a quote, I forgot who said it, but if you know what the quote is, you can comment below. It says, love is what we were born with. Fear is what we learned, okay? When we were born, we're just full of love. But it was only as we're growing up that we learned fear. And so that's why when I say fear is not real, fear is just an illusion. That's what I meant, because we learned the fear. That we've been conditioned to fear. But then when we find out, oh, this fear is not even real, it's all in my mind, it's not real. See, it's just, I just have to be cautious. I don't have to put all my energy towards it, so I can free myself. And that, to me, is true freedom, okay? There's one thing about being physically free, right? Right now we're physically free. I can walk this way, I can walk that way, right? I mean, it's one thing where you're like, okay, I have all the money in the world, and then now you think you have freedom, right? But there's so much more when you become free of your mind. Free your mind. Where's that from? Matrix, right? That was Morpheus. Free your mind. See, there's a lot more to that than meets the eye. Oh, that was another thing from from Transformers. I'm just throwing quotes from all these different movies. Okay? Free your mind, free your heart, free your soul, free your emotions, free everything. See, when you become free from your mind, you will start to experience the bliss, the joy, the happiness, the everything. But when you still have the fear inside of you, you can't can't experience that true freedom that only comes from within. And if you watch some of my other videos, I talk about manifestation, things like that. If you're truly in the moment, you feel happy, you feel joyful, and you're free of fear, then you will attract everything that you can possibly want. That's why everything I'm talking about, by the way, all the videos I'm talking about, they all tie together, okay? So make sure you watch all of them and, find the connection yourself, okay? So that is what is fear. Now let's go on, let's move on here. Why overcome fear, okay? Why should we even care about overcoming fear? Well, when you overcome fears, that's when you're truly living on the edge, right? I'm sure we heard of the term before, right? Living on the edge, live on the edge, right? That's how you live life. Well, how do we live on the edge without going skydiving? How can we live on the edge without just going like snowboarding on top of the mountain? Which, by the way, that sounds pretty freaking awesome, right? So there's like, how can we live on the edge without doing something that is dangerous, right? That we can potentially, risk our lives with, right? How can we live on? How can we get the same type of thrill of life, which is what we are really seeking, right? Without the fear. See, I believe there are different levels of fear. I'm gonna get into that just a little bit, okay? But all right, so why overcome fears? I have notes here. That's why I'm like looking over here, because I'm gonna sometimes I'll forget. There's a lot of good information. I don't want to miss any of it. Okay. Another reason why you want to overcome your fears, because you want to get closer to your purpose. All right. When you overcome your fear, then you free your mind. When you free your mind, you become clear. When you become clear, then you'll know what you really want. See, a lot of us, we don't know what we want in life. A lot of us, we're like, man, what do I want to do? And we're just sitting there like, I don't know what I want to do. Well, I'm just going to do what everybody else does, right? I mean, maybe we don't consciously think of that. We're going to say, well, I mean, I can get a job. Nothing wrong with a job, by the way, because if you want, there's really nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, maybe you don't want a job. Maybe there's a bigger dream that you want to do. Maybe you want to be an artist, right? Maybe you want to be a musician. Maybe there's something that you've always wanted to do that before, when you wanted to do it, somebody shot you down, right? Maybe there was some judgment involved, and now we're afraid of being judged. Therefore, we don't even take the steps that we know we can take because we're afraid, okay? And another reason why we want to overcome our fears is because once you overcome your fears, man, you become a very powerful person, okay? You'll become confident. Now, it's not like don't be the cocky type of confident, like jackass. I didn't want to say that, but I guess I said it, right? Don't be like a jackass and be like, that wrong side of confidence and powerful. But when you can overcome your fears and you can actually bring out more of the loving nature that we really are, then you can have the power to influence people and people actually listen to you, right? It's a really... And let's say you want to help people, you want to change the world, or you want to teach, right? I think a lot of us, one of our secret things that we always want to do is to teach people, right? What gives you more pleasure? To help yourself or help another person, knowing that somebody's life is impacted because of something that you helped them do. So to me, I like helping other people, and so that's another thing too. You'll have more confidence if there's that cute person on the other side of the room that you want to walk over there and say something. You're going to do it because you have no fear, and plus that makes you a little bit more attractive because you're not afraid. You're not you're not a wimp, right? You're just a lot more confident. That's why overcoming fear is so important. Now, let's get back into what I was brought up before, which is the different levels of fear. And here's a myth about fears, right? Sometimes we think of fear as something we're afraid and something we're not afraid of, and then that's it, right? There's either black or white, black or white. Well, I'm here to tell you that different fears have different levels of fear. And when we can understand the different levels of fear that exist, then we can truly play the game. We can truly turn everything around. The things that we're so afraid of, we'll know which ones not to touch. We'll know which one is our next step. Like, fears, to me, is the path to your success. Okay? I know it might sound kind of scary right now. It doesn't make sense, but I'm telling you right now, imagine if you're able to turn your fears, the things that you don't like, you're just throwing away, right? That you know you might need to overcome one day, right, in order to reach your dreams. What if you can turn that into a thrill? What if you can turn that, let's say you like skydiving. What if you can turn that into the feeling of just skydiving, where you get the adrenaline, your heart's pumping, right? Your heart's pumping, you're like, man, this is, you're like at this point where you're just living on the edge. Well, I'm going to stop hyping this. I actually like hyping. Hyping is just like a really cool thing, right? But, all right, so let's get right into this. I'm going to start using this whiteboard because I know I've been talking forever and I'm using this whiteboard. So let's get right into it. I'm going to draw some circles on here. So the circles, the size of the circle represents I don't know how to say it. Like the larger the circle, that's how big the fear is, okay? Then we have smaller circles, okay? Smaller ones, hopefully you can see it, okay? I'm just drawing, hopefully you guys can see these circles. Each one of these represents a fear, and the smaller it is, it's not that difficult. The bigger it is, then it's like, holy crap. So let's say, let me get another color here. So let's say this is your fear, and then this is you, okay? That is you right there, that little circle, and that is your comfort zone. So if you find another circle that's right about the same, well, then that means that that fear is actually, that's right at your comfort zone. So you can do that no problem. It's right where you're at, right at your level. It's like, okay, cool. I already did this before. I did something similar. You know what? I'm going to overcome it. All right? Actually, I just want to put this huge one over here. Okay? And I'm going to go from there. So, this little one, same. Now, if you see these tinier fears, well, these smaller fears, well, they're on the same, they're a lower level than where you're at. So those are easy. Those are easy. You can just, you can just cross them out like this. Boom, boom, right? Well, what about these bigger fears? What about, let me draw another one right here so you guys can see. And by the way, my circles are kind of funky. I can't really draw good circles right here. So this one is slightly bigger than your comfort zone, which means this is doable, okay? This fear is doable. See, there's a lot of times, I don't know if you've ever been out with your buddies and then they try to push you to do something, but it's like so far out, there's no freaking way I'm gonna do that, right? Have you ever been in a situation where you got people peer pressure you to like do something that was so scary, like no, I'm not gonna do that? Well, see, at that time, that fear was probably this big circle right here, right, for you. And then in their eyes, they are already at that level, so they can do it. But you're like, no, I'm not even there yet. Well, you see, it's actually dangerous to try to overcome a fear that is too big. Why? Because when you don't know where you're at and you try to do something, I don't want to say stupid, but I might have to say that, okay? If you're trying to like be ignorant, really, man, I don't like these words that I'm using, so please don't take it the wrong way. And you're trying to jump right into it, that can actually cause you, okay? That can actually cause you, I'm using a different color here, to decrease. That means you went back a level. Because now you're so terrified that you went backwards and you have to work your way all the way back up, okay? So it's really important to understand where our comfort zone is and where our comfort zone is and what is our next step. What is the next circle, right? Which is the next fear that we can work on. Because because it's easier okay, let's put it this way. That circle, that blue circle right here, that's slightly bigger than where your comfort zone is, right on the edge, that is where you live life on the edge. That is where it all happens. Because when you start overcoming these little ones, these tiny ones, then it becomes easier. You say, oh, I can do this, right? And that reinforces you. So when you are able to overcome, okay, these fears, one by one, and you knock them all out. So let's say, you know what, let's do this, okay? So when you overcome this, You know what happens to your level? I look at fear, I look at life as like an RPG game, right? So if you ever played, RPG game before where, you fight monsters and then every time you beat them you gain experience points, man, this is the same thing, right? But what happens when you start fighting monsters that are like low level? Let's say you're level 20 and you're still like at, the first stage and you're killing monsters that are like level 2, level 3. Do you get any experience points from that? No. That means you become stagnant, right? So, let's use these colors. Let's just use this orange one as where you started, right? Started, okay, so what you did was, all right, boom, when you're at this level, you knock these guys, boom, boom. Now you evolve, boom. Now you evolve from orange to green, right? So now you're green, and now you're starting fighting monsters a little bit higher than you so that you can gain experience points, right? So I'm going to actually draw a couple of circles here. It's like, boom, boom. You beat that, you know what happens? Man, you level up. Now you're bigger, right? Now you level up, okay? Now you level up. Once you keep doing this until you are ready, until you get to that level, okay? Until you get here, and then it's like, oh, I can do that. I can do that. Now, here's the thing. There are a lot of different fears. You do not have to overcome every single fear, okay? What do I mean by that? There's a lot of different fears, and sometimes when I'm drawing this, okay, it can be interpreted as, I have to do all of these fears. I'm like, no, you don't have to do all of these fears. Let's say there's a fear that you have here, okay, and no matter how much you try, okay, no matter how much you try to attack this, okay, like for instance, one of my examples, all right, is trying to go up, man, this is kind of funny, so I'm going to tell you guys anyways. One of my biggest fears in the past is always to go up to an attractive woman, right? A 10 out of 10, I call it, right? And start a conversation. The biggest fear ever. Man, that's the scariest thing that I've ever had to do. No matter how much I tried to attack it, I couldn't do it. But what did I have to do? Okay, what did I have to do? I found other fears, right, that I had to overcome. Even another big one. But this one was a different one. Let's say this is A, okay? Let's say this is B. I overcame this fear, okay? First, once I got to that level, and then I learned all of these different things, and now A becomes easy. This one, I'm like, oh, I can do that now. But I had to do other things first. So, this becomes really profound because you don't have to go for the big one right now. If you are at level 2, right? This is level 20. You know what? Maybe we start making this into a video game here. All right? Look. Let's say this is a level 20 boss. Level 20 boss, okay? And let's say this is a level 10. Right? Let's say that's a level 10, right? Right now, you don't have to go here when you're only level 2 or level 5. Okay, I don't know, I think this is level 5, right? Let's say you're level 5 right here. Maybe you can't see this, I'm telling you this is level 5. Maybe you're level 5. You don't have to fight this level 20. Look, when you just find the next level, you will always live life on the edge. And when you live life on the edge, you're constantly growing. And I'm telling you right now, there's not a lot of people in this world right now that is constantly overcoming their fears to increase their levels. Okay? Now, this is more advanced stuff, man. How long have I been shooting this video? Man, it's been kind of long, right? So sorry if this is kind of long, but look, if you understand this, if you can grasp this, your life will change. Completely change. Now, there's a lot of different aspects, and somebody asked a question before about what if you're doing one thing over and over and then you can't seem to get it? How do you overcome that? So I'm actually going to cover that right now, but I need to erase this, okay? So hopefully you guys understand that part so far. This is a little bit more advanced, right? This is this little bit next step. So the next thing is, let's say you have a fear right here, okay? You have a fear right here. No matter how much you try to let this go, right? No matter how much you try to overcome this one, Alright, no matter how much you try to overcome this one, you can't get it. So the analogy I'm going to use this time is martial arts. Why? Because I'm a Ninja Jedi and I'm Asian, and it's just funny because I'm Asian. Alright, I'm just funny. Okay, that was crazy. Alright, so let's say I'm trying to fight this guy, and let's say this guy is like karate, okay? Karate. And let's say you are, let's say you're doing kung fu or something, right? I'm just saying. Let's say you are, all you know is kung fu, okay? All you know, this is you, okay? All you know is kung fu. And no matter how much you try to fight this karate guy, okay, you can't win. No matter how much. You keep coming back, and you keep coming back, every time you do it, it's like you're stagnant, right? It's like you can't, it's not working. So what do? Well, here's one way that you can do. What if what if you start fighting different opponents? This guy, Taekwondo, okay? Taekwondo. Then you have, my gosh, I can't even think straight right now. Now you have, I don't have enough colors too, so I'm just going to use orange, okay? Then you have like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, okay? Then you have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then you have like Jeet Kune Do, right, which is Bruce Lee's martial arts, okay? Then you start fighting all these guys now, right? So you know what? Screw you, karate guy. I'm gonna fight these guys, right? I'm gonna fight these guys, okay? Now, maybe you get your butt kicked by these guys too. But what happens? You learn something new by these different ones. Even though if you flop, maybe you beat them, maybe you don't, okay? But what you did was you expanded your mind. You expanded your experiences, okay? These are all different levels. These are all different fears. Maybe they're just as big. It doesn't even matter. But they're all different in its own sense. Not one fear is better than another or worse than another. A fear is a fear, okay? And each one of these martial arts is just another martial art. Just a completely different style. So let's say, okay, right now you're fighting these guys, you get my butt kicked, but it doesn't matter. But the more you fight different ones, you start to notice different things. You start to notice, oh, okay, you know, I didn't see this before. Now what happens if you spend a while doing all these other guys, you just let karate guy alone, right? It's like, you know what, screw this, okay? And then what you do is now, after you got all that experience, you learned a lot, maybe you asked him a few questions, now you come back to the karate guy. How do you think that's going to go? How do you think it's going to go? You think you're going to do better or you're going to do worse? What if you did better, right? You're going to do better. But how? How are you going to do better? You learned. Right now, you are not the same kung fu guy no more. Right? You're not the same guy no more. Now you have experience. All this different. They're all different. And that made you who you are. Now you are somebody more powerful. Come back. Even if you lost this battle, it doesn't matter, because in your mind you know that you grew, that you know that you expanded your mind, you know that you're no longer where you were in the past. And because you know that, you know how to beat this guy. You know how to overcome this fear. If there's a big fear that you have right now, and you can't overcome it, you're like, man, no matter how much I try, it's just, it's too out there, I can't do it. You know what? I have good news for you. And the good news is, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Because now you can just go with the other ones, and then over time, when you come back, you test it, and then you test the fear. It's like, all right, let me run through my mind on doing it. Can I do it? And if you can run through your mind of you doing it, you will know. You will feel it inside. You'll be like, ah, I see. I can do this now. And it'll be easy. It'll be easy. So, I know that I've talked a lot about this fear thing. I know I spent a lot of time on this, but I want you guys to know this. I mean, who else talked about fear like this before, right? No one really talked about fear like this before. And because I can illustrate the fear like this, man, life is on the edge all the time. Now, here's one last tip, okay? Here's one last tip about fears. There is a quote that my band teacher back in high school, he said this. He said, choose, or was it a band teacher? You know what? Sometimes our memory gets kind of mixed up. Maybe it wasn't my band teacher. Maybe it was like an audio or something. Well, whatever. I learned it a while ago, okay? And that is, choose one fear every day and overcome it to fashion yourself into greatness. Choose one fear every day and fashion yourself into greatness. Now, I'll be honest. Before, when I thought about that, I'm like, man, that's a lot. That's a lot of work. How can you overcome a fear every day? You can actually do that, and if you do that, a month from now, 2 months from now, half a year from now, a year from now, like you'll not even be the same person. You won't. Okay, and now that you know the secret to which fears to overcome first, you got this. You got this. Because most people, they look at fear as one solid thing. But now you have the tools to look at the fears. You're like, no, I'm only at level 5 right now, and that is a level 20. That's a level 100. I'm not even going to touch that until like maybe a couple of years later. It's okay to recognize the fear and be like, no, that's level 100, I'm level 2. Right? Let me find a level 3, level 5 fear that let me overcome that. And how do you know fears, right? How can you gauge the level of fears? Now, I was going to end this, but this is also very important. How can you gauge the level of fear? That you'll know. You'll feel it. Whenever you're afraid of something, you feel it, don't you? You feel like this heat, right? You feel this tension in your chest, right? You can feel it, and the stronger that feeling, the higher it is. And the more you exercise this, the more you test out different fears, the more you approach it. Okay, so for instance, if you are afraid of riding roller coasters, but then you're like, am I afraid of riding roller coasters, right? Maybe you're at home. Right now you're at home, you're watching this video or something, and you're thinking about, am I afraid of roller coasters? And let's just pretend with me here. Pretend you've never been on a roller coaster before, right? Or maybe you haven't, right? Whatever. So let's just think about this. Let's go along with this. So let's say there's a roller coaster, and you're thinking about roller coaster, like, you know what? It's not that bad, but I wonder if I'm scared. Right? Would I be scared? Maybe think about skydiving. I haven't gone skydiving yet. I'm going to. I'm like, you know what? That's gonna be kind of cool. Would you know that you're actually like where your comfort level is? That's right. You begin to take action towards it. Number 1, buy the ticket with the intention of going on the roller coaster. Check yourself. How do you feel? It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Maybe it's easy. You can buy your ticket. Then you're on the road over there. You're on the way driving over there. Oh, now you have more of adrenaline, right? Now the excitement starts to come up. Now you walk in the park and you see the roller coaster from a distance, right? Next one is that you actually walk to the line, and now you're like, oh crap, I'm here. Right? You're like, oh crap. See, at that point, every action that you take, every step you get closer is a chance for you to go inside. All right? Go inside of you, right? Go inside, go within, and then check your feelings. How are you feeling right now? Where's your fear? Where's your comfort zone? Maybe you're just looking at it like, wow, that is kind of scary, but it's easy. That's like, I'm level 4, that's a level 4, right? Staying on line. All right, now you wait in line. You wait in line and the anticipation. Now, next one is where you're finally on the front. You can see people sitting into the roller coaster. That person's like, oh crap, I'm gonna be there. Check yourself. All right, now that, I know I'm level 4, but that's like a level 6, right? That's kind of scary. Just standing here, looking at it. Now, when it's finally your turn about to walk into the cart, into the roller coaster, now, what level of fear is that? Maybe for you, I know for me, for years, it was like a level 20. And I was only a level 4. Okay? Many times in the past, I'll go to a roller coaster. I'm here, I waited an hour for the freaking roller coaster. I'm standing there, and I'm like, hell no. No, I'm not going to do this, right? No. I walk down. That was my cue. No, I'm not ready for that. Because I know people who actually go on a roller coaster when they're not supposed to, and they come out terrified. They're completely screwed up. Because what they do, well, I don't have the diagram now, Okay? They were trying to go for this big story, level 20. And now they went backwards. So be very careful, check your feelings, and that's how you feel it. If you want to know where your comfort zone is for something, take baby steps. Take one step closer, one step closer, one step closer, and then check your feelings. Say, all right, this is my comfort zone. Whoo, man, I did good, right? There's a girl that I want to talk to or something. I'm like, all right, I walk by her. All right, good, good. Oh, man, right? Walk by, it's like, all right, man, all right, I got it. I walk by her. Point, I got experience points, right? You do it enough times, all right, man, this is the breeze, this is easy. Now, greetings, right? Greetings, okay, boom, good. Man, that was hard. Do it over and over. Look, you'll be good in no time, right? That's not relationship advice, or maybe it is, right? If you're afraid to, talk to that special someone. So, man, I have talked forever here. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death, right? Or hopefully this is actually kind of interesting. I never made a video like this before with this, this whiteboard and drawing circles and lines. Usually when people are drawing circles and lines, they're trying to sell you something. But here, I'm just trying to teach you something, so it's good. So anyways, I hope you guys got a lot of great information from this. If you have any questions or you have any comments, because maybe there's something I'm missing, there's actually a lot more about fear that could be going on. But this one, I just want to illustrate it for you guys so you guys can understand. So if you watch this whole thing, you're watching this right now, thank you. I'm really grateful and, honored to really, to deserve your time to actually watching this. Hope you got a lot of value from it. Please comment this if you think it's very valuable. Share it with other people. And yeah, man, comment. I just want to hear some feedback. I'm going to be shooting a lot more of these videos on specific topics. So if there's a specific topic that you want me to talk about, guys, I will do that. Okay. Maybe I won't do it for every single time. But there's a high demand for it, and if I have time for it, then I'm definitely going to respond to you. Also, I don't know where this video is going to be, but add me on Facebook. Send me a message, right? Say hi, say what's up. I actually respond whenever, if I respond back in a few days or something, don't worry, because I am pretty busy. But that's basically it, guys. Can't wait to hear from you guys, and bye for now. Jin Hua signing out.